Okay, so am I audible?
यस भैया।
Okay, so I guess we are live now. So
Hello, Bhaiya. Should we start?
Still, am I not audible?
Yes, Bhaiya, you're audible.
Okay,
So should we start?
sure.
Okay, Bhaiya. Um, Good evening, everyone. I'm Iman Kullan Mujumdar, and I'll be your host for the evening. First of all, welcome to Talk 4 of Prep Simplified. Today, our senior Sourav Sen will cater to all the queries required related to placement and job opportunities at Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. For those of you who don't know him, Saurabh Bhaiya graduated from IST Shibpur in 2022 and is currently an executive trainee at NPCIL. He appeared for the GATE examination in the year 2022 and achieved an All India rank of 221. Now, before we begin, I would like to instruct all the attendees to kindly comment down any questions they might have during the course of this presentation. And at the end of it all, I'll be asking him those questions. So now, Bhaiya, the stage is all yours.
Okay, so first of all, very good evening to all the attendees out here. So, as Iman had already introduced myself, but still, I am Sourav Sen. I had graduated from the Department of Electrical Engineering from Indian Institute of Engineering Science and Technology, Shibpur, from the year of 2022. Okay, and after that, I have secured an All India rank of 221 in GATE 2022 from the Electrical Engineering paper, and I am currently working in Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, NPCIL. So, okay, man, can you just present the slide that I had uploaded?
Okay, how do I do that exactly?
Like, I think the moderator would just basically have the access to that. Wait a second. Okay, so wait. I'm uploading again. Now, can you see it?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Okay, so first of all, before starting this, before starting this session, I would like to say that this session is mainly intended to the first year, second year, and third year people who are basically new to all this gate and all. Like especially the first year and second year, they just recently joined college. So just I would be giving a basic overview of what this gate is and like why there is so much hype about it. Okay, so starting away, so what is this GATE? So GATE stands for what? Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering, right? So this is basically an exam which you get to give after the completion of your 4 years, or rather now from 2021 you can also give this exam on third year itself. So so this exam you can give from like when you are studying in third year as well as after the completion of the fourth year as well. So this exam is based on the technical knowledge mainly. The 85% things are asked from the technical domain of your respective departments. And so now next comes is the why is gate, like why there is so much hype about this gate. Like for the first year or the second year people, I could say that you guys after coming to college, you guys may like would have heard about two things mainly regarding to this placements or this career opportunities, I would say. It is basically either you get placed in some IT or the IT or consultancy companies, or you could opt for the core, right? And These two are basically the main thing, the main two, what I can say, the main two things people opt for, right? So you may think that, so why is this gate necessary? Like you are also getting placed either way in all these IT consultancy or core companies that you wish, right? So why do I need to know about this gate, or what's this hype of this gate all about, right? So I would like to say that this gate, as the name suggests, also metaphorically, this gate is basically a gateway to the life that you have been dreaming about. Actually, so this gate actually provides you a lot of opportunities, which you can basically grab upon and basically improve your like improve yourself as well as your career on that direction, right? So now, going to the next slide, like what all opportunities that you guys would be having, right? So firstly, the first things first is the master of technology. So like mainly for the first year guys and second year guys, you would be having a little bit idea, I think, about this, about what this master of technology all about. This is basically the MTech. You get to do this MTech after the completion of your 4 years of BTech from all the reputed engineering colleges that we have in India. For example, from all the IITs and IITs, and also our college also provides this course of Master of Technology. So in this code, basically for the like I'm again saying that this is mainly intended towards the first year and the second year people who are basically new to all this. I'm not going to dive very deep into it because I know it's quite boring to just hear about all this. So still, so Master Technology, this course is basically the duration of this course is of 2 years. In this, in this you will study about some different specializations. Like for example, if you had completed your engineering in electrical engineering department, so in this master technology you can opt for your own department, or you can also go towards the co- interdisciplinary branches as well. For example, for the electrical engineering courses, like many IITs offer course for the machine drives and VFDs and all. Then you can also go towards the VLSI. VLSI is basically towards the analog domain. Like if you guys love the analog electronics part more, you can also consider doing your master of technology in that domain also. So this is basically a continuation of your bachelor of technology course. Okay. Now, the next part is the public sector undertakings. So, this is basically, or rather, I would say, this is probably the most hyped things that are talked about in in the recent 5 to 6 years. Simply speaking, this is nothing but sarkari naukri. Okay, like after giving this gate, I can assure you guys that if you basically perform well after faring well in gate, you get a lot of opportunities from this PSUs for getting placed or for grabbing these opportunities to do a sarkari naukri. And like as you guys have already grown up in this Indian neighborhood, like you would be knowing that what kind of hype this police undertakings has for us. Okay, so I'm going to I will be going into detail about these PhDs in the next slides as well. So for the timing, let's dive into the next option, that is the Master of Science. This Master of Science, you can say it is a bada bhai of this Master of Technology. The duration of this Master of Science course is of 3 years, and for those of you guys who are actually interested towards research sector a little bit more, like those who want to go into core, but those who want to do further research, for those you have basically two options open. That is, first one is the PhD, and the second one you can also do this Master of Science, and then again go for PhD and DPhD and all. Like this, like in this Master of Science course, and this course is also offered from all the reputed IITs that we have out here, as well as NITs. And this like in this course you will be basically working with one of the most eminent projects that India is having right now. You would be basically getting an opportunity to be a part of those projects and to basically deliver something which is of great value towards our country, India. Okay. So now let's dive into the next option. That is the PGDSM. So in this option, I'm sure that that many of the third year and the fourth year people would also be not aware of this option. This PGDSM stands for the Postgraduate Diploma in Sustainability Management. For those of you guys, specifically in second year, third year, and fourth year, who are still confused or rather in a dilemma that whether they should go for core or whether they should go for consultancy or MBA and all. I would like to say that this course could be the best one for you guys if you are if you are
I guess Bhaiya is experiencing some technical issues. He'll be back in just a second.
Is the slide visible?
Not yet, Bhaiya.
Start. Okay, so I'm really sorry for the interruption. I'm having a little bit network issues out here at this place. So, uh, the thing we were discussing about is this PGDSM, that is the postgraduate diploma in the sustainability management. So, so I'm sure that many of the third year and fourth year guys will also be not knowing this, but those of who are still in a dilemma about like whether to go in core or whether to basically uh, go towards consultancy, I can say that you could also consider this option. And in this option, you would be basically given an MBA related to the industrial management, and this course is offered by NITI Mumbai. So this is also a viable option which comes to your yard after excelling in GATE. Okay, and the next thing that we have out here is the fellowship programs in the IIMs as well. So not all, I would say, but many IIMs also do offer fellowship programs, considering the GATE score that you have out here. Okay, so now let's come to the this important topic about know your exam. So the first thing any aspirant should do for excelling any exam is to basically know his or her exam, right? So, like if we look into this, so this GATE exam, it has a 65 number of questions. The time you would be given would be 3 hours. Like out of this 65 questions, 10 questions would be from the aptitude section, and then the next 55 questions would be from the technical domain. Now, the marking scheme of this exam is you'll be having 30 questions of 1 mark each and 35 questions of 2 mark each, uh, totaling to 100, totaling to 100 marks. And the negative marking is one third of the marks awarded. Now, I would like to say that not all questions have negative marking in here. There are actually three different types of questions out here. The first is the MCQ. You guys would be too much familiar about this MCQ pattern. And then the next is the MSQ. MSQ is the multiple select answer questions. So in this type, like as you guys have already given JE Advanced, I think. So in JE Advanced, these MSQs are rigorously asked. So you guys know about it. And then there is NATs. NATs means the numerical answer type questions. So in the last two sections, there is no negative marking, fortunately. So these last two places serve as a very good weapon for you to score well in this exam, basically. So this was all about the pattern of the exam. Now, the next thing comes into your mind. Okay, so I have known about this exam. Like I know what is GATE, what I can what I can get from this, what I can get after excelling in GATE, and the question pattern of GATE. So now the next thing comes into your mind that okay, so what is a decent performance in gate? Like I've been talking about faring well in gate, you'll be getting these opportunities and that. So you might be asking yourself that what is the decent performance to be like, or rather, what performance could you call decent in gate? So I'm gonna give you a visualization. This visualization, I could say that it is like it is almost same for the last 5 to 6, not 5 to 6 years, like 4 to 5 years. It is almost the same. So the first thing is that if you grab any rank below 100, then it would be tremendously it would be a tremendous performance on your side. So as I've already mentioned, that anything below 100 would do make sure that you get the best college that you're aspiring for your masters, that is for the MTech program as well as for the MS program, that is the Master of Science program, as I had already mentioned earlier, as well as for those guys who are aspiring for the PSUs. You would be getting call from every PSUs that not every, like apart from one PSU, you would be getting call from all PSUs of India, right? And the one PSU that I'm saying is that you might not get a call is the Posoco, that is the, like it is a subsidiary PSU of Power Grid. In that PSU, to get a call for the interview, must have a rank below 35, I would say. So, and the main thing about that PSU, that why that PSU is so sought after, is like I will come into all those things a little bit later. Okay. So nextly, anything below 200 will make sure that you get all the colleges for masters, that is MTech and MS. For PACs, you might have to face a heat of competition rigorously. So like below 200 rank, it becomes like you cannot say for sure that okay, I'm going to give an interview for this PSU, so I will be getting that PSU for sure. You cannot say like that. But for if you are having under 100 rank, if you don't screw up the interview too badly, you would, like there is 95% chance that you would be getting selected in that PSU. Okay, so for that reason, I have mentioned that below 200, you might have to give the interview like you might have to, like to impress the interview, or have to give the interview very well. Then your selection is confirmed. And for anything below 250, the fight is not over. So it's sad, but like at this stage, at this point of time where the jobs are not the jobs are not that much. So at this stage, rank below 250 will also not ensure you, it is not guaranteed that you get PSUs, though for any rank below 250, you will be getting like MTech and MS from all the like not from all, but from the reputed IITs as well. For example, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Roorkee, you can get all those IITs as well for the MTech and MS. And for the case of the PSUs, you have to really work hard on your interview skills, like on your group discussion skills, on your group task skills, in order to excel in that interview and in order to basically make a mark. Okay. And the last, that anything above 250, to be honest, for the PSUs, the chances are less, because like you would be getting call from the PSUs for the interview. Still a handful of PSUs, still from only a handful of PSUs you will be getting call. But the chances of the final selection are bleak, I would say, because the major reason why I'm saying this is one thing you should know, that it is very important to know also at this stage, is that getting a rank in like uh, like for the final selection of these PSUs, almost all PSUs have 85%, like I would say 80 to 85% weightage they give towards this gate score. So if you are having rank 250 and above, your gate score would be comparatively low for all those people who are having a rank better than you. So in that case, for you making it into the final list, you have to give your interview very well. But still, as the weightage of the gate score is too high, so for the people of having rank greater than 250, would like it would be hard for you actually, I would say. But still, like miracles do happen, right? And and regarding the MTech options, yes, you can easily get the MTech and MS also from the different IITs, like IIT Roorkee, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Guwahati, all these IITs that we have out here. And for all the IITs, you would be getting enrolled in MTech and MS also. Okay. And this was it. The next thing is, yeah, this thing is basically the most talked after thing. Like you guys might be like all the people like this slide is mainly intended toward the third year and the fourth year guys who are right now right now preparing for placements as well as internships along with gate. So how to balance placements and gate? Like you may find you may find some people saying that either you have to look after one, that is either you have to get placement or either you have to go for gate. But trust me, like bagging both of the options is not that much of a rocket science in itself. You can basically follow some small tricks and tips, and after that you can basically easily balance out two things, that is the placements as well as the gate. So I had just jotted down a few points, like the points which I had actually followed. And yes, one more thing I want to say, that when now this situation has changed a little bit. That is when I was giving the exam, when I was in my third year or fourth year, like all the classes were going on in an online mode, and you guys must be knowing that that in the online mode there is there is not much of a criteria of this 75% attendance and all. So in my time it was a bit easier for me to balance out these placements and get along with that. But for as now this pandemic has ended, fortunately, so you guys would be having actually comparatively a tough time in balancing them because you have to go to classes and all. So considering all those, I have jotted down some points. The first is use 4 days rule. Like uh, this 4 days rule basically states that in order to basically in order to basically get a decent CGPA or rather percentage, start studying for the semester exam for a particular subject, I would say 4 days before the exam. Okay, for example, if I'd be having the exam of machines 3, uh, if I'd be having the exam of machines 3 on the Saturday, I would be starting to prepare for that exam 4 days before that. And by doing so, I can assure you, like if you utilize those 4 days effectively, I can assure you, you can easily get around 50 to 60% marks in that paper. So one important thing that you should note out here is that you have to basically trade off something in order to achieve something. Like you cannot basically say that okay, I would be keeping my CG as high as like 9 plus CG I would be keeping, and also I would be getting mm, and I will and also I would be getting very good placements, and also I would be excelling in gate. Like I'm not saying that you cannot do that, but doing all these three simultaneously was tough for me. So I'm just saying my perspective out here. So this 4 days rule I used to follow when I was in my second year, and it was actually effective also. And another thing regarding CG, I would like to say that in the PSUs also you have this 70% marks criteria. Like in your BTech, you must be having above or equal to 75% marks in order to be eligible for this PSU. So don't completely ignore the CGs as well. Okay, because at the last it comes into a great help. And the next thing is that make short notes. Now, I think that for the people of first year and second year, these things are getting a little bit boring out here. But I'm sure that for the people of third year and fourth year, you guys might be able to connect with me in a much better fashion. Like to make short notes. This is the most underrated thing that every ranker tells you about. But also along with that, this is the most overlooked part. Like me myself when I was giving the gate examination in my third year, I overlooked this thing. I thought that okay, so what's the meaning of making short notes if I can basically refer to my long notes anytime, like anytime I want to. But trust me, at the end, when you're done with the preparation, when you're done with all your subjects, when when you start looking back about all those subjects, or rather when you start revising, like uh, like for an example, if I take the subject of signal system, I personally found that subject signal system comparatively much tougher than all the other subjects that we have in our electrical engineering course. So after finishing that subject, if you just start opening your long notes and you just start reading all the things that you have noted down from somewhere, then you would be getting too much scared by seeing all those all those big jargons and all those big formulas and all. So for that case, what you have to do is that after studying a topic, you have you have noted that topic down. After studying that topic, or rather after completion of that topic, you would be getting an idea that okay, so these all things are important in that topic. So what I would say is that note those important points. For example, in the case of the signal system, note all the formulas. For example, in the case of the Fourier series, Fourier transform, note all the rules of the transformation, those algebraic relations, those different transforms, the transforms of the special signals as well. Just really note those small things, and then and then make a consolidated note of the whole subject, and this is going to help you a lot in your final days of the exam, because when the exam is near, your mind will obviously get tensed. So like if you at that point of time just refer to your short notes, then it will be much better for you, and also you will feel much confident about that. And also one more thing I would like to say is that many people, like I had one of my senior who is also a gate ranker, who also excelled in gate. He also suggested me in making micro notes. Now what is this micro notes? Like for first we have our long notes, then I had told you to make short notes. Now this micro notes is all about the most important points that you can jot off from your short notes as well. Take a very small piece of paper, you basically write down the most important formulas, or the formulas that you are basically forgetting, or the formulas which you are not able to memorize, which you are not able to memorize. Just write those things down and revise those micro notes for 2 minutes or 4 minutes before going to sleep. And then after waking up from there, just go through, or rather skim through that micro notes. This helps a lot. Okay, this also helps a lot would be an understatement for saying, like, you guys should first do it, and then basically you can able to see the difference about it. The next thing is that try solving numericals in your college classroom. Many a times, like from my observation when I was in second year, it happened that we had actually completed a particular topic beforehand, and then after our completion, that topic is being taken up in our college classroom. Rather than listening again to the same topic, what you can do is that you can just basically try solving the numericals from this topic, or rather, or from any other topic that you had studied before coming to college in your hospital. Basically, you can basically practice numericals in your college, or rather, at times when the lectures become too much boring, when you feel too much sleepy, you can also try solving those numericals which come in the GATE exam. And yes, another thing is that. Uh, okay, so let's keep that point for the last. So what I was saying is that try solving numericals in your college classroom for all the numerical kind of questions which come in the GATE exam. You may try to solve all those in the classrooms itself. So that basically that basically saves you a lot of time, as well as it basically improves your confidence for attempting that question. Okay. So now the next thing is that for this electrical machines and this power system. So okay, sorry. So next thing is that for this machines and power system. So for the first year guys and the second year guys, I think you might be for the second year guys, I think the machine one course had already started, right? So uh, what I can say you is that in the whole GATE exam, if there is any subject which all aspirants all aspirants fear a lot, it is the electrical machine. But also at the same time, I can assure you that this is the most easiest subject once you learn it in the right way. This is the subject in which you can score fast in the exam as well. So, and fortunately, the teachers or rather the faculties who teach electrical machines in IST Shipur, they teach in such a lucid manner, like at the starting you may not feel so, but at the end, after the point when you start connecting the dots, after the point when you start understanding the reason, the logic behind all those, you would understand that the things that are covered in the class are of an immense help. So what I would say is that even if you don't understand completely, or even if you don't understand to 100% of what of what the faculty is teaching, MSG sir as well as PKB sir, all those faculties, whatever they are teaching, if you don't understand them completely, also, what I would say is that try making notes of their class as well, because those things will come of an immense help. And for the for my juniors who are in third year you have machines 3, and I think machines 3 is taken by SD sir, or I guess taken by SD sir when we were in third year. So his notes, or rather his slides, were of an immense help to us. So what I can say is that you should basically keep notes of the machine lectures that are organized in our classroom as well. And for the power system also, I can say the same thing, that all the faculties we have for the power systems are extremely talented, and the way of teaching for this, specifically this power system case, is also very nice. So try making notes at the end, like at the end you will understand that that of what help those notes will come to you. Okay. And the last thing is that use the library for its intended purpose only. This is on a lighter note. Okay. So this is basically the thing that I also ignored at first. Like I used to basically try to study in my hostel room only. But as many of you guys know, that in hostel, like the studying part is the last thing that you do, right? So I would say that after your classes get over, after your classes of your college get over, at least devote 3 to 4 hours studying in the library for this gate exam. Okay, because if you study like after your classes, if you study 3 to 4 hours rigorously every day along with your college, it would be enough, I think, from my side. Okay, so you use the library judiciously. So these all tips, I think, I would like to give for someone who is actually starting for the preparation of the gate. Now the next thing is about what after gate, like for example, you have got a decent rank in gate. For example, let's assume you got a rank under 200 in gate. So after that, what happens is that you apply for different PSUs as well as MTechs. For the MTech programs, the IITs, some IITs, I would say, organize an interview as well. They would first shortlist your name according like on the basis of your gate score, and then they would call you for an interview. In that interview, like they would be questioning from the questioning from your core department only, or sometimes from or sometimes from the department in which you are applying for. So this is the case for the MTech and the MS programs. The main catch about this PSUs is that after you have scored decently, after you have fared decently in your GATE examination, then the half of your job is done, because as I have already mentioned that in the case of the PSUs, almost all PSUs, excepting for 2 to 3 PSUs, almost all PSUs basically have 80% weightage on the GATE score. So once you are having a decent rank, half of your work is done. The only thing that you have to do is to basically not screw up the interview totally. Okay. So in the case of the interviews, what I can tell you is that like if you are preparing for gate, you are mainly your focus is on the numerical oriented only. Like as we had already given the JE mains and advanced, in that case, what we used to do, we used to basically shift the focus in solving numericals only. In the gate as well, you guys have to basically shift your focus in solving numericals. So after solving numericals, after getting a good rank, when it comes to the interview, the major thing about the interview is that the interviewer basically tests your practical knowledge, not what you have learned for the gate exam. Obviously, like for getting that practical knowledge, you need to have that base, you need to have that foundation that you had built while studying or preparing for this gate exam. So for the case of the interview, you have to basically study practically, you have to study everything practically. In that case you should not tell your interviewer that okay, these topics are not in gate, so I am not aware of this. Then it basically gives you a very bad impression, and I can say that like it is basically the gravestone for you. Like after saying this, there is no point of returning from that. You will be sure shot getting ejected after that. Okay, so what I would be saying is that after clearing gate, just completely shift your focus in learning the practical things. And for the people who are in second year and third year, for the people in second year, try doing some vocational training in like in some power producing like in some substations or some power plants as well. That would be of immense help when you are going to face the interviews, because after doing a vocational training in such practical domains, you would be able to connect as well with all the theoretical knowledge that you had learned while preparing for gate, and all the practical knowledge you gained while doing the vocational training in those substations and the power plants. And also one and also you get this advantage as well in the interview. The interviewer, like if you had done some vocational training in some substations or some power plants, the interviewer basically asks almost 60 to 70% questions from your vocational training only. So if you had done that right, like I can say that half of your interview would be based on that training only. The interviewer is not going to ask some new questions, like he would be going to ask, but not many new questions would be asked apart from that vocational training as well. This is what I had seen after giving three to four interviews in these PSUs as well. So this was about the interview. So now, as I had told you that almost all PSUs have 80% weightage of your gate score, apart from two to three PSUs, or rather I would say apart from two PSUs only. Those two PSUs are BARC, that is Bhava Atomic Research Center, and NPCIL, Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. In these two institutes, the selection procedure is that they would be calling you for the interview, or rather they would be shortlisting you for the interview on the basis of your gate score. Once you are shortlisted for the interview, your gate score does not matter even 1% as well. Okay, your gate score is of no use after you are being shortlisted for the interview. After that, your whole selection would be based on your interview score only. So for this reason, these two interviews are considered as one of the toughest interviews to crack in India in this core domain. And I have also cracked this interview. Me, I had also crack this interview, along with the fact that my rank was not that much good, as I had already told you the slabs of the different ranks. Like my rank was not even under 200. And also one funny thing is that I was the last person to be shortlisted for the interview for this NPCIL. But still, after that also, you have to improve your practical knowledge in a tremendous aspect in order to crack these kind of interviews. But saying this, I'm not saying that it is tough. Okay, so you can basically follow different books as well for improving this practical knowledge. For my case, I had followed DP Kothari, then Nagrat Kothari. PS Vimra is the most popular one that we use in our college as well. And also as of now, like in this time, like almost all things are available in the YouTube as well. Okay, so try googling for all those questions that are asked in these kind of interviews, and then basically prepare according to that as well. And regarding NPCIL, what I can say you is that if you if you are someone who is keen to study, or not study, who is keen to know more about things which are which are less discussed in our society, such as the nuclear sector. It is a strategic sector, as like every one of you might be knowing by this time. This, and also many people have wrong perception in their mind regarding this nuclear sector. Like whenever we think of whenever we actually hear about this word nuclear, the only thing that the only thing that comes in our mind is the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. So specifically for the Australian many people, these things would be coming in your mind. But thing you have to understand is that this nuclear power plant, or rather, I would say that this NPP, this nuclear power plant, is having the highest capacity factor among all the different kind of power plants that we have till date. So it is the major source of green energy, and by the end of 10 to 15 years, I suppose, all of the thermal plants would be, like, not all, among 80 to 85% of the thermal power plants would be scrapped, and they would be converted into the nuclear power plants. So the nuclear is actually the future of India as well as of our whole world. So regarding the job profile in this NPCIL, in this like after getting selected in this NPCIL, you have to undergo a rigorous training of duration of 1 year. I had recently joined NPCIL. My training has started from this August only. I had completed almost 3.5 months here. So after completion, I can, if you ask me about this experience, you can say that if you are someone who is keen of gaining knowledge about in this nuclear power, like how we can actually generate safe and clean energy from this nuclear aspect, then it is, I think, the best place for you to do the job. Okay. And also in this PSU, I can say that like in all other, like not in all other, like in most of the PSUs, what happens is that the promotion aspect is not that much technical oriented. Like you don't have to rigorously give exams and all in order to get yourself promoted. You would be promoted after after a specific amount of time, as per the rules of their particular PSUs. Like if you only work there, but in this NPCL, in order to get yourself promoted, you have to give exams. So at every step of promotions, you have to give exams, and once you clear that exam, nobody is going to stop you from getting promoted. So if you have that hunger of studying more, if you have that hunger of gaining more and more knowledge about this new sector, because in this sector not many people work. If you actually see globally also, only a handful of people you will be getting who is working actively in this nuclear sector. So working in this NPCL inherently gives you a proud feeling that you basically are contributing immensely towards towards the growth of your country, as well as you are contributing largely in reducing the carbon footprint as well. Like most of you guys would be knowing about this. Okay. So this was all about NPCIL, as well as how things are there in NPCIL. And regarding salary and all, like if you any guys have any queries about what kind of salaries do we get in these PSUs, what I can say is that I can give you a rough idea about almost all PSUs. Like if you basically pick up any PSU, in all PSUs you will be getting almost in hand the in hand salary basically varies from 75,000 to 1,15,000 depending upon which PSU you are placed in. ONGC being the PSU which gives you the maximum in hand salary, so it is also the most. I would not say most. It is also one of the most sought after PSUs after excelling in GATE. So, like, you can also do your own research in this field. But the main thing is that you have to, like, at this stage, you have to make yourself clear, or rather, you have to basically have this understanding among yourself, understanding within yourself that in which sector you want to go, like in IT sector, in consultancy, or in core. If you are willing to go into core, I would say just close it. Just I would just say basically to attempt this GATE exam. Don't completely rely upon the core placements that happen in our campus. I'm not saying that those are bad. Like those are also good at all respects. But if you are wanting to achieve a dream life in this core sector, then I don't think that any other thing could provide you such kind of environment, like except from this PSUs. So this was all about it. So if you guys have any questions, queries, anything, it is open.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for the insightful presentation.
Yeah,
Should I should I read out the questions right now?
yeah, sure. Go on.
Okay. So first of all, how much time did you dedicate in order to crack the gate exam?
See, if I can say you quantitatively, I had started my preparation for this gate exam when I was when like at the beginning of my third year. Okay, but at that time I was not that much serious. Okay, so I would used to study almost like 3 to 4 hours every day, but that is not enough. At the time when I started preparing for this exam seriously, it was at the onset of my fourth year. At that time, I would be like I used to study for almost around 7 to 8 hours. I would be trying to clock that 8 hours mark, but most of the times I was unable to clock it. But that's a different thing. So I would be saying that it like the amount of time that you study does not matter much in this case, because every individual is different. Okay, you may be a smart student, and you may be not that smart. If you're not that smart, you have to basically do hard work, and if you are smart enough, you can basically do the same thing in less amount of time. So you have to basically judge yourself first, that what kind of student are you able to grasp all the things in a small time. Then you can easily crack this exam with a good rank, even after studying for 4 to 5 years. Even I would like to mention an instance of one of my senior as well. He was from the electronics department. He was also placed, or rather working with me in this NPCIL. He according to him, I think he used to study for around 2 to 3 hours daily, and he was actually super smart. So it basically depends upon the individual. There is not a particular benchmark that okay, you have to study more than this hours in order to excel it. So this is it.
Okay, Bhaiya. Coming to the second question, we have which subjects or topics have the greatest weightage in this exam?
Okay, so regarding this, I can say the subjects which are having the greatest weightage is basically electrical machines, power systems, and power electronics. These three subjects combined would be having almost 30 to 35 marks in the whole paper out of 100. So and also these three subjects are considered to be as the core subject for the electrical engineering department students. So you guys, also for all the people who are actually wanting to excel this exam, one thing I can say is that at least make these three subjects your strong point. Like you should not you should not say that okay, electrical machines is not my strong point. I can do all the non-core stuff such as signal system, control system. I can do those questions very well, but not from electrical machines. But I would say that don't uh, don't uh, don't approach this exam in that way. Making these three subjects your strong point is a must for all the students who are wanting to excel this exam from the electrical engineering branch. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhaiya, for the answer. Coming to the third question, we have how can one prepare for an interview at NPCIL? Are there any resources for preparing for interviews?
See, the resources that I have used is basically you guys already know about this Quora platform, right? In that you actually find in that you will actually get all the different interview experiences from this NPCIL. So I used to basically skim out through all those interview experiences, and basically pick out all those questions which are being asked in the interviews. Like the people who are answering in that platform, they are actually mentioning all the different questions that are being asked to them. So by getting those questions, I would be getting those questions, you would be actually getting an idea about in which domain the interviewers are asking about in which domains and interviewers are focusing much. So by seeing that, you can basically frame your preparation. You can basically study accordingly in those domain. And yes, another important thing that I forgot to mention in here is that in the NPCIL as well as in the BARC interview, what happens in the interview is that the interviewer asks you about to write down three of your most favorite subjects. This is something uncommon, which does not happen in all the other PSUs. So specifically in this BARC and PCIL, the interviewer would ask you to write down two to three of your favorite subjects, and the whole interview, I would say, would be on those three subjects or four subjects or whatever, or how many subjects you have written down on those subjects only. So I would say that for that interview, you don't need to revise or you don't need to study practically all the subjects that were present in your ticket exam. Just prepare your just prepare your favorite subjects very rigorously. And while choosing your favorite subject, I would be saying that at least mention these three core subjects as two of your options. Like at least you can go for this machines and power system, or machines and power electronics, power system and power electronics. At least you should keep these two at least you should keep two of these three subjects as your favorite subject in front of them. Otherwise it becomes a bad impression towards the interview, because after all you would be working here in like in the electrical domain only. So you should be knowing, or rather you should be having uh, a very nice idea about these core subjects. So there's it.
That's a great answer, Bhaiya. Um, we have more of a general question here. As a senior, what advice would you like to give to your juniors that might help them in the long run? Like it doesn't have to be
Okay.
related to gate.
Okay, I got it. So the thing, see, so whatever I would be advising you, like it's based on my past mistakes and all the things that I had seen in my 4 year tenure in the college as well. The first thing is that for the people who are in first year, the people who are actually starting out their college journey, I would be saying that like in the first year, you should explore all the different options that you are having with you. Okay, so as I'd already mentioned that after the engineering, people only see only three options in front of them. That is either to go into the IT sector, or either to go into the consultancy, or either to go for the core. But I would be saying that while you're in first year, you can basically explore your different hobbies, because at the end of the day, if you're basically stuck in doing something that you don't like for example, if you don't like the IT sector but still you are working in the IT sector, so that would be too much tiring for you. So I would be saying that you should be focusing more towards your hobbies, towards your interests. And in the first year, you should be focusing more towards knowing yourself, because there are we all like by this time we had already known that that our college is diverse. Okay, so we have many clubs out here, so you should go and explore all these clubs, I would say. Okay, so you should go and explore these clubs, you should go and try to build some interest, and then after coming into second year, you might be getting a bit more clarity regarding in which domain you want to go, and then you should prepare accordingly towards it. So this would be a general suggestion to the people who are specifically in first year and second year, and the people who are in third year and fourth year. You guys must have figured it all out by this time. Okay, so
Absolutely, Bhaiya. Uh, Another question that I found quite intriguing is that like some of us have the fear of missing out, right? So is that a good
yeah,
thing or
come
a
on.
bad thing? Is that a good thing or a
See,
bad thing? And
okay. See, this fear of missing out, this comes, like I would say that it is rather a psychological question, but still, I would like to answer it. It is basically the fear of missing out. It's basically more towards the fact that like it's a temporary thing, I would say. Like what I have seen is that it's a temporary thing. Like for example, if I can say, like this fear of missing out comes when like if you have a friend circle, and if something goes offset in your friend circle, your friend starts ignoring you according to you. Like according to you, you feel that they are ignoring you, and then you are feeling that you are basically missing out from them, right? So it's not like I would say it's not a good thing as well for you. But I think at this stage you should be making many friends. You should you should not be totally reliant upon a single friend group as well. So at this stage, you might be thinking that this fear of missing out is a very large problem or so, but it's not that big. Okay, like once you get older by day, you will be getting detailed insights about that this fear of missing out is not that grave. Like it does not matter in the long run as such. Okay, and after you go, like after you go into third year and fourth year, you all, like all of you guys would be focused towards building a career only. So it's a temporary thing, I would be saying. Like you should not invest much of time in thinking all these things. And yes, you should also like stop overthinking as well. Okay, so this fear of missing out, I think, comes 90% of the overthinking. Like we, like most of the times we think things that are not there, that does not exist completely. So that makes this fear of missing out or the FOMO a bit more intense. So this was my suggestion about it.
That's a great answer, Ria. Coming to the final question, how would you describe the work-life balance at NPCIL, and what are some of the perks of working at NPCIL?
See, for firstly, for the work-life balance, I can say is that, see, for any core PSU that you join, broadly speaking, at two places you would be posted upon. The first is that you can basically posted in the operations department. The second is that you can be posted in the maintenance department. Also, there is a third department, which is the R&D department. Also, very few people actually get a chance to join the department, because in that department only experienced people come in. So all the freshers we join, like any PSU, if you just pick up, all the freshers basically go into mainly these two departments, that is the operation and the maintenance. So what happens in the operations is that there are actually three shifts. You have to work in shifts. First is the morning shift, the second is the day, second is the afternoon shift, and the third is the night shift. In operations, what happens is that you have to do basically 8 years of work, 8 hours of work, and after those 8 hours, no one is going to bother you anything about the anything about your work. Like after you have completed your shift, no one is going to ask anything about to tell this, to do this, to do that. Okay, so in that case, operations department is having a little bit of upper hand if you talk about the work life balance in this domain. But at the same time, there is also a disadvantage, that is, for example, if you are posted in the night shifts and so, and some festival comes around. Okay, so you won't be able to enjoy those festivals as normal people do, because you will be going into the plant at nights. Okay, so in that domain you may feel that, okay, this is there's a disadvantage in the operations. Now coming to the maintenance, as the name suggests, in the case of the maintenance, you would be given the responsibility of a particular system. Basically, of a particular system, you'll be given responsibility, and you have to basically look after that system only. So in that case, the maintenance is basically the day shift only. That is, your job would be from 9 to 5 basically. But here is the catch, that in the maintenance, after the completion of your 8 hours of job, if something goes wrong in the plant, you might have to go to the plant again, and like in order to rectify those. Okay, so in that case, you may feel that, okay, so after, like even after completion of your 8 hours, people are calling you, and you have to again go towards the plant and all. But at the same time, in like if you are posted in maintenance, you would be getting holidays at all the public holidays and all the national holidays. You would be able to enjoy holidays with your family as well. So in that case, maintenance is having this advantage at your hands. So I would say that the work-life balance in these PSUs would is, I can say, like as far as I have communicated with all my friends as well who are in the private sector as well. So the work-life balance in these PSUs are definitely better than the private sector, I can say. So this was it.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for this amazing session. And I guess we have reached the end of all the questions as well as this session. So, if you have any other remarks that you want to make, then you're free to do that. Otherwise, we can conclude this session.
Yeah, the remarks or other, I would I would ask you one that you might you can also share my contact details with all the juniors as well. Like if
Sure,
they
Bhaiya.
have any doubts, yeah, if they have any doubts regarding this exam and all, they can basically directly contact me through that. Okay, and concluding all this, I would say that specifically for the for first year students that these 4 years would are going to be the most remarkable years in your life. Okay, so do enjoy it, and also do and also don't forget to do hard work as well. Like it should not be like that you are only enjoying. Okay, so try to keep a balance in between these. Okay, and for the people who are presently in third year and fourth year, who are actually tensed about all these placements, some people, like many of them are also preparing for cricket as well. I can say from my past experience that if you are getting rejected from any companies, don't get disheartened at all. Okay, just keep on working hard. Just remember one thing, that that hard work is never going to betray you. Okay, you might be saying that I am working hard for this company, but I am not even shortlisted for the interview for this company. So just it happens. Okay, it happens because in this campus placement, what I have seen is that luck has to play a major role as well in this campus placement. But at the end of the day, if you had worked out, if you have knowledge inside you, no one is going to stop you from excelling. Okay, so don't basically get disheartened if you're getting rejected from any companies. So just continue doing your work, continue doing what you are supposed to do, because those are not on your hand of like these luck matters and all. So always try to control the controllables, and what things are controllable by you, that is your hard work. So just control your hard work, just justify your hard work, and I'm sure you'll be getting and I'm sure there is the light waiting at the end of the tunnel for you guys. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya. And I think I speak on everyone's behalf when I say that this session has been immensely helpful for us. So thanks a lot.